Now, first of all, I'm very limited in what books I buy at this point in my life. And I think there was a time when I started doing a lot of reading and studying in the area of theology, which is my field, but I study far beyond that field. I study in all sorts of different areas. But when I started doing a lot of serious study when I was in college, I would go to used bookstores and just kind of pick up anything that I found that was like theologically related in any way, or anything that had to do with the history of the church. And I just ended up with a lot of random books about all sorts of random things. But I also have this kind of obsession with reading everything that I own. So that meant that whatever I picked up, I would read. Like, I wasn't going to have books that just sit on the shelf. That's why I said I read everything in here, just about. So I don't have books that are just wasted. But as I have gotten more particular about books and more interested in specific areas of study, I really have tried to narrow down what I read and try to narrow it down to the question of, first, what do I actually want to read? What are my interests? What's the thing I currently want to look into? And what are the best books that I can buy that actually address the issues that I want to have addressed? And that kind of changes your perspective, because usually the perspective is like, I show up at a bookstore and find what books look cool and buy them. And I've really had to shift from doing that, not that I never do that, but from doing that mostly to now saying, I need to figure out the specific books that I actually want, because impulse buying is not really a great idea in many ways, but that's true about books as much as it is for anything else, because you could just end up with like a ton of books all over your shelves that you're never going to read because it seemed like a good deal at the time and you just probably wasted money on something you'll never touch again. So that's something that I've tried to do with a lot of my reading and studying, is just kind of limit what books and be more intentional about what books I purchase and what's actually going to address the topics that I want to look into.